So today we are going to quickly walk through the Good Day protocol that I went in more depth and education and why you do this and why it matters in my deeper Young Living education group. And I also have a whole module on it in the Hope and Hormones course where we talk about like how the hormones and emotions and everything is connected and why releasing trapped emotions or releasing emotions can matter with your hormones. Like it's all tied into each other, like it all matters, all right? So one of the tools that I use for releasing emotions or for just getting like things resituated in my body, I attempt to do this every day. I'm not always the best at doing it consistently every day, but I have had seasons where I have done it for 30 days straight and experienced some beautiful, just like release. Okay. So the first thing that you want to do is grab your bottle of Valor. Okay. This smells super yummy. It's kind of that purpley color due to the blue tansy that is in there. And so the easiest thing that you can do, because there's two different ways you can do Valor, but I'm going to show you the easiest way, especially on video. So that is to drop a couple drops on your wrist and hold them together. And so you just hold them together just for like 30 seconds. I'm not going to hold it for 30 seconds for this because we'll be here forever. But Valor is a very grounding oil. It really helps kind of get your body just kind of like, it helps ground it, all right? That's what it means. It just helps ground it. So the next thing that you do is joy. And a lot of people do not enjoy this smell. I'm thinking it's because of the rose in it. And when I first smelled it, I hated it. Along with peace and calming, I was like, how do people do this? This is terrible. If this is what essential oils are, don't sign me up. But one of the really cool things is if a oil repels you to the point of you're just like, oh, did you like that face? It could mean that your body is needing it. And so I would encourage you to try to push through it and continue using it. So like joy, if you really can't stand the smell, I would put it like on your feet and put some socks on and just kind of start processing your body with it. But for the Good Day protocol, you do a couple drops on your hands. You quickly do this to activate it. And I put one hand over my heart and the other to smell, because so like your smelling is the only way to touch the like emotional center in your brain. Like light can't even touch it. So like smells matter, right? This is why you walk into a room and you're like, oh my gosh, it smells like grandma's house. That's why. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is white angelica. And I just do a couple of drops again on my hand. You rub to activate. I smell all of them. And then for this one, I need to give you a disclaimer because some of you might be like, she's crazy and she's woo-woo. 1, I love Jesus. 2, this is not woo-woo. 3, he created all of these things as tools for us to use. That's my disclaimer. Okay, so white angelica is amazing as I think of it as like a shield, a protection, you know how you'll pray like hedge of protection, which actually, side note, hedge of protection in the Bible was being referred to as the myrtle bush. Really cool. And then also Esther in the Bible, her name Hadassah in the book of Esther also means myrtle, hedge of protection. And what was she for her people? Okay, sorry, I'm getting way off. See it? I love emotions and I love essential oils. Okay, so, oh my goodness. So you smell it, and then I will legit like just like Adam will walk in a room and I'll be doing this. And then you go down your adrenals. So you just kind of like, yeah, that's what you do. I, as an empath, have noticed, and so Adam's also noticed, like there's times that I can go into a negative situation and come home exhausted and weary and feel burdened. And then there's times that I can be in the same kind of situation and come home and be able to not carry it. And the common denominator is whether, like Adam will say, like, did you use your white angelica today? And so I highly suggest empaths, you better get yourself some white angelica. And this is like, again, super quick overview, guys. Like we could go way in depth on all of this, but I feel like I already am. Okay, so the last one is harmony. So this is when you do a couple drops in your hand. Typically if I have my hair down or I'll take it down, I'll drop one on the crown of my head. So literally anointing yourself with oil, super cool. Or, you know, I'll just lay my hand here because all of this is energy. And so it can go through your hair. Like it's just so cool, guys. And I think when you start seeing, so typically I'll do this and then like smell. When you start seeing your emotional and mental state changing through these tools, along with some other things, like it's just so cool. And it's just so empowering knowing that the Lord has created all of this and given it all to us to use. You know, like he's such a good daddy that he creates these things for us. Like, okay, so sorry. So I'm literally going through like the center of my body. And so I'll move down to like the forehead, the throat, the heart, the chest, the pelvic, all the while kind of switching hands of like which one I'm smelling, because again, smell matters. Like I think that was one of the game changers for me with essential oils, and then why I'm like, I'm not gonna buy just any essential oil, like it's gonna be a therapeutic quality. And again, a lot of them are labeled that, like you have to know where like your seed comes from, and like it matters because I'm using these things not just for replacing a Yankee candle, you know, like I'm using them for my family and for myself for much bigger things. Okay, so then I simply keep smelling and going over my throat, my chest, my heart, right under your chest, where like call these like armor rings, like especially for us women, we like to you know, like guard ourselves, or we want to cover up the stomach, and so there's a lot of, and so just the bringing harmony and like, so doing that, and then going down to like your pelvis, and then going back to your sacrum, which I guess would be lower, whatever. And then your adrenals. And that is the Good Day Protocol. And so I want to encourage everyone, like you can do that within a like quick few minutes. I want to encourage everyone to do that for 30 days, like to commit, like, okay, if this is all that you do, try this, because I've seen beautiful change. And like, this is just a stepping stone, because then there's the beauty of like the speaking truth and rewiring your brain. And, you know, especially while doing these things and speaking scripture and truth over you, you were telling, did you know that your brain cannot tell the difference between a truth or a lie? And so you have to tell it that. And another really cool thing about emotion is that, so if something happened, so like say, so I was in a parasailing accident years and years ago, and I'm just within the last year been able to start working through some of that trauma in my body that I didn't realize that I had. And if I think back to that time and I think through what my body went through, my body doesn't like it going like me thinking about it is like my body is going through it again. So you know, think of a trauma or you think of a really difficult season, and if you haven't processed that, your body, it's like you're going through it all over again. And so if you hold on to these emotions and feelings and don't do anything with them, then every time you think of that injustice that was done to you, or that lie that that friend told you, or that betrayal of that person, your body is going through that all over again. And that's causing dis-ease in your body. And so that's also why it's helpful to look at the corresponding organs to help you figure out maybe what some underlying things are that you don't realize. If this is something that you want me to dig more in on, please leave a message, like DM me, comment. Just let me know, because I'd like to know if these are things that like Allie just really, really thinks is cool, or if you are also wanting to learn more about. We can really dig into the organs and the emotions and all of that kind of stuff. And if you are really wanting to dig into not just that, but how it correlates with your hormones, and wondering like if you're already dealing with hormonal imbalance, and you're ready to dig in deeper and like jump in with me and walk with me, and the 14 years that I've had to figure out all of this on my own and kind of use me as a cheat sheet, that is what the Hope and Hormone course is for. It is everything that I wish someone would have told me 14 years ago, when the only hormone education we had was Suzanne Summers for menopausal women. I've read all her books. They were good, but I would like, this doesn't relate to me right now. Soon it will. So I'm here for you. Like everything, I think that's the thing, is I want women to understand that everything intertwines. And so I'm not just talking about removing toxins. I'm not just talking about releasing emotions. I'm not just talking about hormones. And they're not just these like categories. They all go together and they all matter. So you can't do one thing and expect all of this to fall into place over here for your hormones, or vice versa. Like, you have to recognize all of it matters, and that there is hope for all of it. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming, because that's my role, is to help you to not feel overwhelmed, to give you the information, and then to say, but like, let me walk with you, okay? It's like, we got this.